what? I don't think you really been poor. You always start that off. I've been a poor man.
Yep, he said he been homeless. He been a poor man. He know about it. He knows about it.
Oh, I'm the poorest guy that listens to this radio station. I don't have, you want to know how poor I am? Nobody can outdo me.
Right.
I got no tattoos, no rings. I'm an albino. I got no bank account, no ID, no driver's license, no credit card. I get no mail, nothing.
Hijacker.
Zero. I'm a
like
slave to my children.
That sounds like a form of freedom to me. You know, to be
actually.
You're like Kwai Chai Kane. You just throw your backpack across your shoulder and walk the earth. And you know, that sounds good to me sometimes, you know, not to have all these ties and you know, things that I have to do. And
well, yeah, you get one thing, you get a chance to completely focus on that's a sense. But no, it's throwing a backpack on and walking anywhere. Those days are over. In fact, I'm so scared to bump up against a cop or something in the computer.
Yeah.
You know, my kids make me promise that I won't leave the house with my 40 cal.
Oh,
so man. I can never go in public armed. So it's one of the promises my kids forced out of me, which is a smart thing.
Yeah.
But so in other words, I got to get ready to do another time in jail, you know, if the computer says so. Yeah. But anyways, on the demographic group that really got it bad, I mean, they really got it bad, was the blacks. I watched when I was working as the Mexicans came in, and Debbie's right, I first watched them. The first thing they took over was the hardest job, and that's concrete. They first took over the concrete industry.
Yeah.
Then they took over the roofing industry. Then they took over the drywall industry. Then I was a finisher for a while, a pretty good one. And one day I saw a van stop. All these apartments had to be done. And I was thinking, man, look at all the work I got, all these apartments. You know, I was getting like maybe $1,000 a pop for the apartment. It was just me, you know, doing the finish work.
Yeah.
And the van opened up and all these Mexicans poured out. There was 11 or 12 of them. They had bazooka guns. They had tools I never saw a finisher use. This is like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the end of my job. That was it. They took over the whole thing.
Right.
And now
you blame the Mexicans?
Now, yeah, because man, they're taking over all. They're taking over all the Mexicans.
Do you blame the Mexicans, or do you blame the contractors, the builders and stuff that were hiring the Mexicans?
Oh, now I watch that too. When I was on the street, you know, you get pickup work, you wait outside of Lowe's or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would watch these white boys come through, these contractors, and this is how they pick people up. The first group of people that would go would always be the Mexicans. They were the first ones. They pointed them out. They would jump in the back of the pickup truck.
Exactly.
Then they would pick the whites, and the last group that would remain, or at least from what I understood, because I always got picked up somewhere along when the whites got. But it was always the blacks who were the last ones before they got picked up.
Yeah, because they would steal something.
Well, no, my son has a theory on it. Yeah. They said that the blacks have been slaves so long that they just hate working for a white person. It just reminds them the whole history and everything comes back. Uh-huh. And I have to say that when I went out when I was a Babylonian slave and went out with labor ready and did jobs, I had a lot of blacks, funny guys.
Yeah.
They would tell me, "Well, we just get the job, and this is just cover. You got to have something else going, something else working." And so they would be scanning, you know, and they would go to work, but they would be scanning to do something after hours or whatever.
Right.
They were street smart. They taught me a lot of stuff.
No, I don't believe that, because I know blacks are hard workers and they work hard for white folks. They make white folks rich, you know.
But they don't work harder than the Mexicans, man. Let me tell you something. When they go out there, let me tell you, if you go around and you look at all these big jobs that's being landscaped now, because, you know, they're putting up these complexes and stuff, man, all the jobs right now are like, it used to be like your average white guy.
It's not that they don't work harder than the Mexicans. They don't work for as little as the Mexican would work.
Man, but let me tell you this. People were really thinking that all Mexicans work and make little money. They making good money. The reason why they're surviving so tough is because they do live in a house with 50 to a house. But
50 to a house.
But
what size house would that be?
Look, and they eat a lot of tortillas and nachos and tacos.
Now see, she been listening to all the propaganda.
No, I'm serious.
No, she's right about them working hard. If I had a rate, like if I had to go according to nationality, who works hardest, it would be Mexican, white, and then black.
Well,
but then that doesn't mean that doesn't mean all blacks don't work. I saw, and it was in New Orleans. I saw an all black crew that was carpenters, and I don't think I've ever seen any group of people on all the different job sites work harder than this team of maybe 15 guys. They all ate together, they stuck together, and they had their own crew. Somebody pulled them all together, and they made good money. But Debbie's right. The Mexicans make good money. They pay cash for vehicles, and they're really favored by the banks, right, by the way they save money.
Yeah.
And they don't all work for white people. They got their own contractors. They make their own deals.
They don't use a lot of credit. They pay cash for everything that they buy. So they're not like us where, where we go out, we get paid. The first thing we do is want to get a Cadillac, da-da-da-da. All they want is a Honda, and it can have 5 tailpipes on the back. And they want a house, and it'd be like 40 of them living in the house. And I'm telling you, they eat a lot of rice, they eat a lot of beans, they eat a lot of tortillas.
And they send a lot of money home, right?
And they send a lot of money home, man. And they're making good money. Because I talked to this guy when I worked at the bank, and I'm like, he was like, yeah, I just went out and I bought me a house for cash. And I'm like, well, where did you keep the money? He was like, normally I don't keep my money in the bank. I put a little in the bank, but they keep their money at home, first of all. They're scared of losing a dime. And they work hard, and they make good money, whether people realize it. They don't just work all the $3 an hour jobs. Trust me, they're getting big contracts. And some of these contracts that are out here now for the landscaping and stuff like that, people think that there's a white leader, but unfortunately there's not. There's a Mexican that's in charge of that. And they're doing big landscaping jobs now. You see them doing all the malls, you see them doing all the big stores, you see them running
But trust me, if they're doing those malls and et cetera, they put in a bid and they won that contract. And they won that contract based on being lowballed or something like that.
Yeah, but One Iam. What you have to understand is that, they can win and they can go low, but that doesn't mean anything. Right. I mean, I don't see any Hispanic activist out there in the political realm, whether it's for gun rights or abortion or democracy or nothing except over immigration. Right. They don't participate in that. They also they have a lifestyle in which when you bring a third world population into your population, they can lowball every job. That doesn't mean anything. All it does is pull the standard of living down for everybody. Right. No, what needs to happen is what George Norris said. Yeah. George Norris says that we need to make Mexico the 51st state. We need to go in there and clean it out and set up the constitutional structures and our political type structure in Mexico and clean it out so that an American can just cross the border. We got to give up this notion that, it's separate, because basically what the elite have done is they have gone in, they have looted Mexico, which is really, really rich with natural resources.
Right.
They looted it, and instead of Mexicans having their own civil war and getting their own sovereign country, what they've done is they forced them out and they fled. Yeah. And they didn't fight. They didn't fight for freedom. They don't know anything about it. And by making it a 51st state, then you would see a lot of things start to straighten back up.
Right. Well, the Zapatistas decided to put up a fight, and against these corporate interests and etc. And Mexico got Black Hawk helicopters from the USA in order to help with the Zapatistas. So basically, the Zapatistas got ran back up into the hills.
Yeah.
And the corporate looting continues. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just bad news, man. Like I said, Obama is like putting these Mexicans out of this country, even though some of them have been here 15, 20 years and et cetera, working and everything, have had children here that are American citizens. Obama is putting them out at like $500,000 a year. you know, at this point. So it's just unbelievable.
Well, is that the truth? I don't think that's true. Is it? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. 400,000 this year alone.
Well, those are just the ones they caught coming over the border, though.
No, those are the ones that are here already that they caught. They're going around the country. They've turned back like 1 million at the border.
Right. But
at the border.
I mean, and they should, because let me tell you.
Not only that,
they don't pay taxes like we do.
They don't. They do pay taxes.
Not if they work.
They do. The workers pay taxes.
Do you know a lot of Mexicans get paid under the table and they do not pay taxes?
They paying taxes.
No, they not.
They're paying
taxes. No, they don't. Listen, no, they got no Social Security card.
They don't have no Social Security card. They ain't paying. So why would somebody else in here that's taking away from what we gotta pay? We gotta pay. We gotta go get a Social Security card.
They're paying taxes. They got phony ID, this, that, and the other.
They're not paying taxes because most Mexicans, if they're illegally here, they're not because they're not getting a paycheck. They're getting paid under the table.
Some are getting paid under the table.
A lot of them are.
Some are not.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot though. But no, the only thing really I got against the Mexicans is they should have fought for their country, but I can see where they were too overwhelmed. But the one thing I got against them is they really do, and I've known a lot of them, and I can't say every single one, is like this, but they have hatred for both blacks and whites in their heart. Yeah. I mean, they got it in there. They really hate blacks. They really, really hate blacks. They hate whites too.
I can understand why. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at the Mexican like he's a piece of doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? And treating them bad. And you're talking about them because they're Mexicans and this, that, and the other. So I can understand why, they would feel the way they feel, And I respect the Mexican as a hard-working human being.
Well, I would respect him if I could get that job.
We have plenty of Mexicans here in Detroit. We got on the southwest side, it's Mexican town, and basically they feed us with good Mexican food and everything, I got nothing but respect for the Mexicans.
No, he didn't say good Mexican food.
Yeah, good Mexican food, and their side of the city is clean and well kept and everything. We could take a lesson from the Mexicans.
Call it 331. Go ahead.
Call it 331. Are you there?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm listening. Is that Hijacker on the line?
I beg your pardon? Yeah.
Oh, it was? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's, he was making some, pretty, everybody really doesn't hate everybody. Not especially, you can't say that all across the board. It's not, but I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, I've never seen stuff like this in my life. When I was younger, I turned my life around. I was a screwball, going to jail and ruining my life and turned it around. Went to college, got a degree, got different skills, sets, certifications, all type. That's fine. But these days, I go to these warehouses. I'm driving a truck, now because the economy's so bad. I am doing that. I'm doing what I do, whatever. And it's just these people don't speak no fucking English. They got all the jobs, and it's just really unbelievable. At least learn the language. Furthermore, not only that, okay, but if you go, I got to look into this, but what I hear is usually true. I heard the Mexican economy is doing better than ours.
Right.
You know that?
No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I have to check it out, but I heard I have to look at the peso too. I have to look at everything, but no, that's what the economy. Well, think about it. Look. Let me throw something at you here. What about these corporations going offshore? Okay, do you think that has something to do with it? Maybe I am right. Could I be?
Well, yeah, they're going offshore.
Hey, whoa. I know two guys that just lost their jobs this year. They went to Mexico. Okay, machine operators. Okay, exactly. So maybe I got something going here with what I'm saying. Offshore.
The corporations are definitely going across that border, especially with NAFTA and free trade and everything. They go down there, they make the products, they bring them back for a whole lot cheaper because the labor is so much cheaper and everything. And not only that, they're going for an even cheaper wage by going to Asia to get cheaper than the Mexicans, and higher dividends and everything on their products and this, that, and the other.